Good morning, everyone. Thank you for stopping by and spending a few minutes with me. I hope you'll get ready with me as we discuss our sense of humor. Sometimes it needs a bit of a boost. Now, I'm starting my day with my warm water and apple cider vinegar and fresh lemon juice. So, how are you starting your day? Thanks for joining me. Cheers. I have cleansed my skin this morning with a light gel cleanser, and I've applied vitamin C serum as well as a moisturizer and sunscreen, and I've also put on my primer. Now, my scent of the day, my SOTD, is Prada Infusion d'Iris, or Infusion d'Iris, I don't know in French. And this is a beautiful iris fragrance. It was released in 2007. It's a floral, woody musk, and it really does have a very soft scent. It has notes of African orange flower, mandarin orange, iris, incense, musk, and vetiver. And it's described as a modern and elegant fragrance, and it's my SOTD. You know, one of the challenges of getting older, I think, is that we have seen so much. We've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And sometimes because of, difficult things that are going on in the world, for example, right now, the whole COVID thing, we're going into the third year of this affecting our lives. The war between Russia and Ukraine and how that's affecting all of us, really. But throughout history and throughout our lives, we've had difficult things like this to think about and to deal with. And sometimes I think it makes us a little bit cynical. Now, one way that we can help ourselves keep our mood up is by feeding or nourishing our sense of humor. I think a lot of people, most of us have a sense of humor, really. There's nothing like a good laugh, Now, I happen to live in the same apartment building as my daughter. Not the same apartment, so that works well. But we get along very well, and honestly, I do spend a bit of time with her every day. Not necessarily a whole lot of time, but a little bit. But I can say that just about every day we have a laugh together. And I feel blessed about that, because maybe there are people who just don't have a laugh every day. And I think it's really good for us to have a good laugh every day. But there are ways that we can introduce laughter and humor into our lives. So I'm going to start with a few suggestions. And of course, obviously, we would want to seek out people who make us laugh. Some of our friends are very comical. Some of my friends are comical anyway. And I know that when I get together with them, we are really going to have a good time. We're going to have a few chuckles. We're going to talk about things that have happened in the past, or, our take on things that are happening in the world today, and just try to find some humor in that. And so these people are delightful to be with. We don't want to hang around with people who are Debbie Downers, really, and who look at the negative and everything, and who, can never find anything right with the world. So those are not the people we want in our lives. So obviously we're going to maybe avoid those people, or just spend little time with them. Now you can see I'm sort of matching my eyeshadow with my shirt, which I like to do, but I don't want to put too much strong color. I like it to be very subtle. And I think that that's probably just enough. So I'm happy with that. Another thing is to change the way that we see things. There really is humor in everything. And often we'll say, well, it was funny at the time. Or just as often, I find in my life anyway, is that it wasn't funny at the time. But when you look back at things, all of a sudden it's funny. So I think that we can sort of get into the habit of trying to look for the humor in events that happen, even though they might not seem funny at that very time. This is a L'Oreal Le Liner eyeliner pencil, and it's really nice. I'm not sure if it's a gel, but it certainly is very soft and pigmented, and it goes on really well. Now, sometimes if people are telling a funny story or what they perceive as funny, maybe we don't perceive it funny. And that could be because of something that happened in our life that it's hitting too close to home. And so it becomes a trigger for us to sort of relive that pain or that discomfort or whatever. And I think we need to be aware of those triggers and realize that what we consider not funny, other people do consider funny. And for example, I don't care for comedy movies. That's not my sense of humor. Most of them I find corny. This is just me, you know. I just find them corny and silly and ridiculous. Now, whether that's triggering some memory in me, I don't know. But obviously other people do like those movies, so it's not my place to put them down, you know. But I think that we need to be aware of these triggers and just maybe not be quite so sensitive and take everything quite so personally. If you use a laptop or a tablet or a phone or whatever you have, and you exchange messages with your friends, some of these email jokes that go back and forth are very, very funny, really. And you can send messages, you can use emojis to, elicit a little chuckle. So there's all kinds of small ways that you can introduce humor in the written word on your laptop. Now, speaking about movies, there are a few movies that I really found very funny. And some of them I've watched more than once, which usually I don't do that. Usually I don't, there's so many movies, why watch anything twice? But there are a few that I have watched more than once, and I've listed them for you. You may not agree with me. You may have your own favorites, but you can find movies, even if you collect DVDs or something, or you can certainly find them on cable or on TV or Netflix or whatever. So seek out, funny movies. And some of the ones that I really loved were What About Bob with Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss. This is a foundation. This is Revlon. Yes, Revlon Candid. And it's been around for a few years. I think it's kind of a hidden gem. I don't hear that much about it, but I quite like it on my skin. So that's what I'm using today. Another movie that I really enjoyed too was Meet the Parents, which is about the young couple before they got married and they became the Fockers. So I think there was I just forget who the actors are in that one, but anyway, Meet the Parents, that was just hilarious. And there's also one about the mob, Goodfellas. I really enjoyed that. Now, I think I do have a bit of a dark sense of humor because I really enjoy Bailey Sarian. Now, if you don't know Bailey Sarian, Bailey is a young woman who, for several years now, many years, narrates true crime stories as she is putting on her makeup. And she also has a dark history program as well. And she has the best way of narrating true crime stories. And she inserts humor in her narration in a way that is respectful, still factual. It's just very, very clever. And so I always get a chuckle listening to her. I will link Bailey's channel for you down below, as well as all these products that I'm using today, if you want to look them up and consider purchasing them. Now, another movie too, because I really enjoy Steve Martin, is The Jerk, and he has several movies actually, which are quite funny. Now, speaking of comedians, there's a lot of comedy shows in my area, and I have been to a few of them, but to be honest, they are just not for me, but they might be for you, you know, and so that's a way, you know, get out, go, take a friend, go with a group of people and go to a comedy show. Some of these people are quite talented, and some of their content is interesting. It's not my style, but it certainly could be your style. And again, you can always find reruns of the old sitcoms. For example, you know, I Love Lucy. I mean, people just love Lucy and find her very, very funny. The TV shows that I liked were Cheers and The Carol Burnett Show. Now, that goes right back to the 60s. I'm using a new product today that I bought. It's Great Lash by Maybelline, and it's clear. Now, I'm going to use it on my brows, just to keep the stray hairs down. I'm not even sure if it's necessarily intended for that. It is called a Great Lash, right? But why not? We're going to try that. Now, of course, some people have really always enjoyed the TV show Friends or Seinfeld, and those just don't happen to be my favorites. The Golden Girls is another one that's pretty funny for some people. Frasier is a show that I always enjoyed too. So you can access these shows on reruns and have a good laugh that way. Another thing is, remember to be gentle with yourself. You know, don't think that you have to be the wittiest person in the room, or but you know, I think there's sort of an openness to humor that we can cultivate, that we can increase and improve, because there's just nothing. I think it's really important to have a good laugh every day. I'm going to finish my brows and put on my mascara and blush, and I'll be right back. I realize there are many people who would never dream about going without their bronzer, but I'm having a hard time incorporating it into my absolute everyday routine, and I just did not put any on today, although I wouldn't dream of going without blush. So there you go. Now today I used this liquid lip color by Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit, and it's a matte finish, which I don't care for that much on myself, so I put a touch of this NYX Butter Gloss on it, and I think that helps the look. But anyway, I just hope that you have a great day. I hope you find some humor and a few laughs in your day. I'm looking forward to visiting with my grandchildren today. All 4 of them are supposed to come over, and we're going to go to the park. It's a beautiful day, sunny, and it might be all the way up to 15 degrees Celsius here in Canada. So thank you again for stopping by, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.